Well, I came over to see what was left of the forest here in San Francisco for homes for the wealthy. Let's take a look. They start cutting trees and people find out about it and they start fighting it. So it stops and they cut more trees and it stops, and by the time the fight is over, guess who wins? Jeez. The trees don't have a chance. Just like in the past mass extinctions, the life that was snuffed out, even on the last big extinction 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs couldn't do anything about it. But, you know, you can understand how come they went extinct, because they had no way of doing anything about it. Humans have a way of stopping extinction, but the conservative end of things will have none of it. They will have money even if it kills every single last human on the planet. Money is all that counts. Let's go look at the CO2 count, which is now as high as it was pre-COVID. So here we are, back at pre-COVID, going up in the CO2 count. March 2nd, 2020, that was last year, saw 413.71. Remember how concerned we were about that? March 2nd, 2021, 417.98 parts per million. That is 4.27 parts per million uptick from last year at this time. That is a 1.03% increase in CO2 in just 1 year. But there is still some good news, and this one's a big one. The big copper mine in Arizona has been temporarily halted for more study. This will take several months. The mine is on public lands, Apache lands, who claim this land for their own back before the white person took it from them. If the study finds some lie that the conservatives put out there about how great a copper mine is for these areas in Arizona, if that was to happen, it will start breaking. The transfer of federal lands over to private people will happen in 60 days after the review. People, if there's ever a time to do something, it's now. Get a hold of the people in charge of all this shit in Arizona and put an end to it. We've got to. If we don't, that's another pristine little patch of land that disappears and turns into industrial land. But here in the U.S., the Senate has just passed a taxation bill that will allow for the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to be opened up for oil and gas drilling. This is another place we need to stop this now. We thought that Biden might do something about it, but he really is a corporatist and isn't going to do a whole lot about this. He was just pleasing the left. And not only there, drilling advocates plan for seismic survey testing in Alaska Arctic Refuge. KIC has applied to survey 352,416 acres on the coastal plain in the Arctic National Refuge. We certainly were fighting against this kind of shit when Trump was in office. Are we going to do the same thing when Biden's in office? Or are we just going to ignore it all because it's the left is in office and the left doesn't dare do anything to try and stop any of this? Oh, by the way, if all this was to come true and we would end up with all this new copper and oil and gas, we'd kill ourselves directly, because you can't put any more CO2 and oil and gas pollution in the air, period, if you want to survive. And going along with this will definitely hurt the planet even more and cause even more heat during winter and summer. Let's go up here, see what's left up in that area. The question has to be, are humans smart enough to save themselves from themselves? That's the big question. No other animals have been able to do it, save themselves from extinction. It seems like that humans would be able to do it, but then again, maybe not. Alright guys, well, I appreciate all the ups and downs, new subscribers. Yes, Texas and Mississippi have decided to get rid of masks altogether. Humans, they're just not showing their brightest side.